a specific tool.
So as you just saw, the world champion for the U23 men's single sculls, Timo Strake, who officially set a new world best time for the under 23 single sculls boat class with a time of 6:42.08. You saw just before the updated medal count. Germany back in front with now 4 gold medals here at the 2024 World Rowing Championships. This will now lead us to our final race of the start of this weekend, the Friday, here in St. Catharines, as we begin with the U23 men's Cox 8. Starting out in lane number 1, Romania. The Canadians sitting in lane number 2. The reigning world champions of Great Britain will be in lane number 3. Lane number 4, the United States beside them in lane number 5 with the Coxie. Jonathan Cook is Australia in the yellow uniforms. And finally, in lane number 6, looking to get another gold medal for their country, is Germany. Only 6 entries in this boat class, so all raced in the preliminary on the first day of competition on that Sunday.
All crews, there will be a delayed start. We will advise.
And will now race once more for the crowning of the U23 men's Cox 4 champion. As I said, Great Britain, the defending World 23 champions, now have 5 returning members from last year's crew. The USA won silver, Germany won the bronze medal. The Canadians still looking to get their country their first medal on home soil. Also out in lane number 1, the Romanians, who have a few from that crew who raced in the men's 8 at the World Rowing Cup 3 earlier this year, where they finished just outside a podium finish in 4th place. Also on their crew, sitting near the middle of their boat in seat number 6, Andrea Mandrilla competed in the Romanian Coxless 4 in Paris, where they also finished outside of the top 3 in 5th place. So don't count out that Romanian boat out in lane number 1. And of course, the Canadians, a lot to prove here at home in St. Catharines, still trying to get their first medal at the 2024 World Rowing Championships. A bit of a delayed start here for this final race as we await the last checks for the U23 men's Cox 8 final.
Romania, Canada, Great Britain, United States of America, Australia, Germany. Attention.
So now they're ready. And there they go. Again, the final race today of this Friday of the 2024 World Rowing Championships. It's the U23 men's Cox 8. And you can already see the fastest stroke rate in lane number 1, the Romanians up to a quick start, looking to get themselves into a bit of a lead. The Canadians sitting 2 meters behind the leaders, which is now the Americans sitting out in lane number 4. Now getting close to that race pace, you can see the speeds nearing in on 24 kilometers per hour for those top two teams. Great Britain trying to defend their championship. The Americans out in front, nearing in on the first 500-meter marker. The world's best time in this event held by the United States when they competed in Poland at the 2018 World Rowing Under-23 Championships. Don't necessarily need to beat that time, but just be fast enough to finish in first, and currently that's where they sit, narrowly ahead of the defending champs in Great Britain. Australia sitting in third. They're battling with the Germans, who won bronze at last year's championship, looking to medal once again, as their country sits in first place in the medal standings with 4 gold, 1 silver, and 3 bronze already this week. Canada has now moved up into the 4th spot, 2 meters out of medal contention. The Romanians quite haven't kept the pace they would have wanted, sitting 37 meters now back of the Americans in first place as they enter the 1,000-meter marker. The Americans well on pace through the first half of this race to possibly beat that 2018 World Rowing Under-23 Championship world best time. They're going to have to keep this up in the second half of this race if they're going to want to do so. The Canadians now 26 meters behind them. Great Britain has now increased their speed, their stroke rate above 40 strokes per minute now, and they've overtaken the Americans for first. Canada 6 meters out of the top 3 position behind Australia are going to have to make a push late here. Germany looking well out of that top 3 podium. Romania even further behind them. Great Britain is now edged a little bit of a gap between the United States, 6 meters between the top 2 teams. Canada has fallen even further behind in 4th place. It's going to take a monumental push from the home nation to try and find a top 3 finish here. Australia holding on well with a fantastic race so far, 3.82 seconds behind Great Britain in first. It's the final quarter of this race, of the final race of this Friday here at the 2024 World Rowing Championships. Great Britain now 22 kilometers per hour, 12 meters in front of the Americans. Canada has truly fallen out of medal contention unless they can really turn it on here. 13 meters behind the Australians with 200 left to go. USA fallen behind the defending champs in Great Britain, who have an opportunity here to break their record for the world's best time in the U23 championship division. 100 meters to go. It's Great Britain well out front now. The Americans following, Australia in third as they near in on the finish line. They won't break the world's best time, but they will come home with a gold medal. Another one for Great Britain. The Americans to finish second, Australia third, and Canada, who made a great push at the end, will finish in 4th place. Romania behind them, and the Germans will finish in 6th place in the U23 Men's Cox 8 Finals. And what a race it was. Great Britain kept consistent through the first half of that race, were 0.27 seconds behind the Americans, and then pulled away in the final 15, or at the 1500 meter marker, were a second ahead of the Americans and finished with a comfortable lead at the end with a time of 5:24.73. The Canadians just falling short in fourth place will not collect their first medal of this 2024 World Rowing Championship just yet, with still plenty of finals to come tomorrow and Sunday. The Americans will win silver, Australia taking home the bronze medal. That will mark as the Americans' second silver in the men's division. Great Britain adding to another one of their gold medals won here today in defending their title as the U23